Alright, you guys, welcome to the channel. If it's your first time joining, if you're returning, thank you for coming back. Man, we got some bad news. The case against Henry County, the $20 million lawsuit against Henry County, the Sheriff's Department, and several defendants that are involved got dismissed. Initially, it was a blow. Definitely a blow to the chest, and thought all was lost. But once again, that due diligence, buddy, I keep telling y'all, you gotta do your research. Here's the thing. Here's the great news about that. You got several options. You can actually file for motion or reconsideration, and if there was any errors done, then and you point them out to the judge, then they have to reconsider it. 9 times out of 10, the defendants will file a motion against it, or whatever case may be, which most of the time they do, or you can appeal it. In this particular situation, because they've been ducking getting served, which, you know, that shows a lot, because if they didn't do anything wrong, they wouldn't be trying to duck getting served, right? And remember, if you've been keeping up with the channel, Henry County Sheriff's Office was paid to actually serve themselves, which they can't, according to law. Was it? We'll look at that, but they can't serve themselves if they're parties to the case. But anyway, let's look at the paperwork. We're gonna try to run through this as quickly as possible and break some things down too. All right, let's go. Go in the Peach Court, set you up an account, and you'll be able to log in and check this information out for yourself. But here you can see it for free. So if you want to search the case, that's the case number right there. But we're going to move right along. So the order, let's go ahead and scroll on down. The order was on the, I'm going to bounce around a little bit, on the 27th, on this day, the final order. And that order was to dismiss the case based on the defendant's motion. And it was dismissed with prejudice. That is not a good thing. Without prejudice, that means you can come back and file a case within 6 months, and any defects that you may have had in your initial complaint, that you can correct it. It gives you a little bit of time and leeway to, you know, come back again and regroup, regroup and then come back again. So, based on the motion to based on their motion to dismiss, of course they incorporated a whole bunch of stuff in here, but of course the waiver, the sovereign immunity stuff, they always gonna do that crap. And but the thing was, where was it at? I'm not gonna read it on to there's too much stuff, and y'all would understand it anyway. I don't want to make things too complicated. Pretty much, Henry County Sheriff's Office is not a legal entity that could be sued, because initially, and then they wanted the case dismissed against Henry County and against defendant Brown, which is who violated the Open Records Act. Let's scroll on down. Let's see, official immunity bars claim against defendant Brown, and this is some crap. They were talking about, oh, you know, where's it at? Saying that her. Oh, here it goes. Official immunity bars all claims against Brown carried out in discretionary function in responding to the open records request. That is crap. Okay, it is a ministerial, meaning it is mandatory that she responds to that open records request within 3 business days and answers it, whatever the case may be. So anyway, let's go down to the meat of the situation. So, oh, here we go. And this is the thing, when you're naming, if you're suing the sheriff's department for something they did wrong, you can't name the sheriff's department. It's not a legal entity that can be sued. They are correct on that. You can't just sue the sheriff's department itself. You have to name the sheriff of whatever county, and the sheriff's department is running that sheriff's department. You have to name the sheriff themselves, right, in their official capacity, to do that. And I would say, whenever you're filing a complaint on them, you do it on the officers and whoever, and the official and their individual capacity, right? I'll get into that another time. So the courts lack personal jurisdiction, and they stated it right here, which is so great. No defendant has been validly served with process, and all defendants raised lack personal jurisdiction as a defense in this action. Here's where this is a great thing, right? So now what the plaintiff did was emergency motion to set aside judgment, even though they dismissed the case, but they wasn't properly served. So none of the defendants in the case were properly served with a summons or complaint. Based on this right here, on this law right here, motion to set aside judgment. A motion to set aside judgment. Sorry, I'm going too fast. A motion to set aside judgment may be brought to set aside judgment based upon lack of personal jurisdiction, and they stated it. They stated it. They said it themselves that nobody was served. So nobody, none of the defendants in this case was served. So that motion to set aside that judgment, that the dismissal order, will get set to the side. The court cannot rule on it because nobody is properly served. So that's the great thing about that. And then also too, where is it at? As a defense, that's the defense that they raised. This is as far as coming from defensive side. If you were defendant, which I hope you're not, lack of personal jurisdiction, that's one of the defenses that they raised. So they can't, like if it was a summary judgment or something like that, they could say, well, nobody was properly served. But if they didn't answer the complaint within 30 days, they didn't answer the complaint within 30 days, then they're hit. Then yeah, it'll be a default judgment if they didn't answer and they were trying to be served. So for legal reasons, I can't go into the details of the case and the things that took place. If you want to know a little bit more about that, you can hit that description box below. It's just there, right? Listen, these people are so corrupt and so dirty that they they are doing everything in their power to not let this case go to trial. And it's not even gonna make, there is gonna be no trial. It's gonna be summary judgment because, for one, the plaintiff is right. All the grounds is right. This is the thing that I need to stress to you guys. If you ever try to do this on your own, you have to make sure that complaint is right. You have to make sure that you have all your legal terminology as far as naming your proper defendants, your venue and jurisdiction, pretty much wherever it took place. Not where it took place at, but whatever that police department or official, wherever their base is located, that's the county that you're going to be suing them in. You have to sue them there. If you go and try to do it in another county without requesting to get the venue changed, then the case could be dismissed based on that, alone. You don't want to make that mistake. So make sure that you get it. Like, let's say, since it's Henry County Sheriff's Office, the Superior Court of Henry County would be there. That's where the civil case would be held at, right? And the mistake that was made was the plaintiff was trying to sue the sheriff's department out of ignorance, didn't know no better. It's really the sheriff, because the sheriff is liable for the conduct of the inmates, not inmates, but the jailers and the sheriff's deputies in the treatment of the inmates. That's what I meant to say. And if depending upon the situation, if they violate the constitutional rights of a defendant or somebody that's in custody, then it falls up to the sheriff, and then the liability falls over to the county itself. That's where that open records request comes in with the insurance policy, and the insurance policy covers all of them all together. The Henry County Jail, the Henry County, everything that has anything to do with Henry County, the fire department, all of them, everything, Henry County Police Department, all of them, they cover their own one umbrella. And that's the reason why they didn't want to get it, because with sovereign immunity, this is how it breaks down. One, they have to break the law in a sense. They have to violate your constitutional right, and you have to be able to prove that they did that, which is a ministerial duty. Like it's something that's not, it can't be questioned. It's something that that you have to do, right? If they do that and they have an insurance policy, those two things right there, you got them. But you have to have that insurance policy in order to follow with the courts to be able to waive that sovereign immunity. That's why they didn't want to give it up. You see what I'm saying? It makes a whole lot more sense now. So with that said, make this real quick and short. I just wanted to kind of give y'all, heads up on that, man. It's been just a lot because you got multiple cases. And the crazy part is, this one judge got all these cases. Mind you, she just took herself off one of them because, and I looked this up, she used to be a solicitor, and the plaintiff is suing the solicitor's office because they did a whole bunch of legal stuff too, violating all type of constitutional rights, and they duck into, this is what I want you to do. If you don't believe me about how corrupt the Henry County Solicitor's Office is so corrupt, go look them up online, go Google them or something like that, right? And they have like a 1.3 rating, right? Not only that, you don't have to believe anything that I'm saying. You can go try it yourself. Go try to mail a letter to the solicitor's office. Now, if you go back to the law, whenever you're filing a waiver of summons, or if, let's say you're sending something there, right? It won't make it. There is no address with the U.S. Postal Services for them, period, at all. Like, mail will get missing if you try to send it there type stuff. If you don't believe me, go to the post office and try to send a certified letter. Good. As a matter of fact, get you one of these. Get you one of these joints right here. Right? Gotta stack them. Right? Get you one of them. And go to the post. They got them at the post office, and just with a blank envelope. You ain't gonna pay for it, because you're gonna go in there and they're gonna be like, well, there's no address under that. And it's what, 44 John Frank Boulevard, McDonough, Georgia, 30253. I know by heart. That's crazy. That's off the top of the head. It doesn't have an address. It will not go there. It said the whoever's helping you at the desk will say, no, it's not an address. Yeah. That's crazy. So anyway, with that said, man, I'll leave you with this one, man. Stay tuned for the next episode, bro. Like, it's getting heavy. It's getting real heavy. All right, peace.